it's MK. Welcome back on this Friday afternoon for my weekly live feed. So it's been a busy week. I've actually talked to a couple of you on the phone and they're like, Melissa, you never stop. I'm like, I know. But you know what? It's all good. My life is busy and my quilting business is busy and everything that I do, I just love. So if you're going to be busy, you might as well be happy doing what you're doing, right? And I definitely am. So let's go ahead and get started on my list today, and then I'm heading on out of here. It's a Friday. Okay, so the first thing first is I hope that you guys got the newsletter. Mr. MK got that out for me this week, and you know, we just kind of pile a lot of things in the newsletter, a lot of things that relate to people locally here in Florida, relates to a lot of my long arm customers, but there's some things in there always that relate to you guys too. So get yourself signed up on the newsletter if you haven't already, because you guys get a lot from me on the weekly live feeds in terms of, you know, what's going on and staying in touch, but there's some more things that hit the newsletter too. So sign up for that on mkquilts.com, and of course share that and with all your quilting friends, and I appreciate when you do that. Okay, so I was reminded just this afternoon, I had a friend in quilting with me this afternoon, and that's kind of why my live feed was delayed a little bit, because she wasn't quite done using McFusion. But it reminded me to just speak a little bit during this live feed, even though I'm doing this within my sim group, that remember, I do repost this on other sites. So I just want to give a shout out to any of my followers who watch this who are local here to Florida. I am coming into my busiest time of the year as far as professional long armor goes, right? We're getting close to the holidays, and I'm going to be doing some traveling this fall. I'm going on retreat. I see my friend Jackie. Jackie's online. Hi, Jackie. So I'm going to be on retreat with Jackie actually next month. I'm going to be doing some teaching. I know you guys have been watching me. My daughter's getting married this fall. And so it's going to be a really busy time of the year for me. So if you are watching and you are going to be wanting me to quilt quilts for you, I'm going to ask that you get them into me as soon as you possibly can. That includes any of you who may be wanting me to do anything for our upcoming quilt show with the West Pasco Quilt Guild. Okay, so please just give me enough time to get those done for you, and I really appreciate not being under the gun all the time for those quilts for deadlines. Okay, so get those in as soon as you can. And then also with regard to my local people, just remember that my long arm rental program is going full speed ahead. And actually the friend that I had in studio today was my friend Pam from my guild. And she has come on board with me to learn the ropes, if you will, here at MK Quilts, learn how to use the machines so that she can assist me when people come in to rent, so that she can take care of them at the rental program on the machine, and I can keep doing what I love to do, my layouts, formulating my classes, working on my YouTube, and all of that. All right, so her and I always have fun together when she's in the studio. And actually today, her and I both finished what we were working on, and so we took a picture, and I'll post that in the comments below when I'm done here, just so you can kind of see what we were both working on today. All right, so rental program, just check out all the details on mkquilts.com, and I welcome you to come on in, learn how to use McFusion, quilt your own quilts, and it's just fun having guests come in and spend time with me here in shop. All right, I think since I spoke to you last week, we got a new YouTube video up. That was the one on custom cropping, and that was a really fun quilt to work on and bring to you. There's a lot of questions always about cropping, and so this was just one kind of little technique on custom cropping something that's larger than your throat depth, and then it was a circular quilt. So a bunch of tips in there, and who knows, there may be other scenarios with cropping that I can address on another future video. So as always, just stay tuned for the YouTube videos. And then I must make an apology. I haven't gotten my next mini class done. That one is actually taking a little bit longer than I thought, and I did some screen capture on that over this last weekend, and I'm just not sure I'm going to be happy with what I did, so I might have to do some rework on that. So I apologize. I'm trying to get that one done for you, and remember that one is on L-shaped corner connected borders, but with using chunking. Okay, so it's just taking me a little longer. So I will get that done as quickly as I can. All right, what else do I have? I wanted to take a minute. I haven't really talked about this, and again, I know I'm in the closed group, but I wanted to remind you guys that if you are thinking about getting a handy quilter machine, or if you're watching and you're a current owner and you are thinking about upgrading at some point in the future, just remember that Paul and I would love to become your retailers. And I want to stress again, I said this from the very beginning, if you have a retailer that you are hooked in with locally and you've been going to them, they service you well, and you have a connection and you have a relationship there, I certainly am not in the business of breaking that up. I want you to be happy with your local retailer. But if you don't have somebody, just remember that pretty much if you're watching and you're in the United States, Paul and I can take care of you in one way or the other by becoming your retailer. Okay, so I know the holidays are coming. Handy Quilter always has specials. You know, I don't think I've gotten, I'll have to check my email, what the next promotion is, but they usually come out with something on a monthly basis. And so just keep watching, and if you are in the market for a long arm, just keep MK in mind, and I'd love to help you bring one home to you, and of course add on that Pro Stitcher. Gotta have the Pro Stitcher, and I'm your gal to help you learn that. Okay, and that also reminds me, just speaking in those terms, is that Paul and I are going to be doing our first show as a retailer early next year. And again, that's more relates to my local people, but if you are local and you're watching, come up and see us at the West Pasco Quilt Guild Quilt Show, and that's going to be the weekend of February 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, something, that weekend. And come and see us in the booth and put your hands on a machine and give it a test drive. We're really, really looking forward to that, to doing our first show. Okay, let's see. Back orders. I wanted to mention two things that were on back order that just came in, and we will get those out in the mail to you tomorrow. First of all was the leader grip zipper combination. After I talked to you last week about having one set only on the grips and the side grips, I got a couple of big orders for that. So I ordered up more zippers, I prepared them, but I was waiting on the leader grips and the side grips. Those just came like 5 minutes ago. And so again, I think there was 2 or 3 of you that were waiting on the zipper orders. I was just waiting for the grips, okay? And then the other thing that was on back order was the Surefoot, the Handy Quilter Surefoot. And I just got those in as well. And I think there was at least one of you that was waiting for that. So we'll get that in the mail to you just as soon as I can. And also that makes me think of another thing. I'm kind of divulging or, diverting off of the list today. I had a customer stop, actually 2 today, unannounced, just kind of came. And they were looking for Handy Quilter supplies. And kind of makes me think about earlier in the week I was talking about offering thread and different things. I offer batting for sale. So if you are a Handy Quilter person and you need Handy Quilter gadgets of any form, needles, bobbins, feet, rulers, all of those things I can get to you too. And so again, if you have a local person, please use them. If you don't, I appreciate your business and we can get that out to you. Just a little bit of information about the pricing and shipping on that. If I ship it to you outside of the state of Florida, you don't have to pay me any sales tax. Okay, I do have to tag on some shipping for those things, but that's just a way that you can maybe save a little bit, at least on the sales tax. So I appreciate your business on that. And then the thread, I wanted to talk about the thread. I just recently this week placed an Omni order from Superior, and I placed a Glide order from Bobbin Central, the makers of Glide. And how I'm going to handle thread orders going forward, I'm just going to show you really quickly. I think if I go this way, see all that thread over there? I am like stocked to the gills on thread. So basically what I did was I cut off my thread club, but I didn't close my account. So if you need anything from Superior in the way of thread, I can get that for you. And again, if you're outside the state of Florida, it's no problem. I just have to get it to me and then I'll get it to you. Same thing with the Glide. So many people rave about the Glide. And I pretty much had standardized to Omni thread here at MK Quilts, but I ordered up a few of those Glides for myself, and I'm going to give them another go and see how I like running with Glide in my machines. So just remember me for handy quilter supplies, for thread, for batting, any of that I can get for you. And of course the machines, I would love to become your retailer. And as long as I'm thinking about it, you ladies, you know about the lipstick too. Okay, so let's see. I think that was the main things I wanted to cover today before I got to my last item that I wanted to spend a little bit of time on. I'm going to set my list down for a second and grab the print material. So as you know, or maybe you didn't, hopefully you knew, that Art and Stitch came out with an update just recently, right? They had a software update, and if you're currently a Art and Stitch owner, you can get your update for free. And they also, obviously then, along with the update, came out with a new user manual. And so I talked to my print source. We kind of reevaluated everything as far as the print material. And I just wanted to remind you that you guys can get your Pro Stitcher manuals and your Art and Stitch manuals from my print source, which you found out several weeks ago was my future son-in-law. He is in the printing business, does a great job. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the offerings, and just to let you know that Mr. MK did get all of this up on my website. So there's a lot of different combinations of things that you can get. So just be careful when you're ordering so that you understand what you're getting. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me. But the first thing is the Pro Stitcher manual. So what I had chosen to do with the Pro Stitcher manual, I already had a binder. So I just had Bob print me the new manual, and I just stuck it inside of my existing binder. Okay, so he can do anything with hole punch, 3-hole punch, and put it in the binder. All right, and one thing with the Pro Stitcher manual, I'm just dropping a little bit, being totally honest with you. We don't have the designs library as a part of the offerings for the print material. I'm working with Handy Quilter to get all of that available. I'm just going to leave it at that. So no designs right now with the Pro Stitcher manual, but it's the new Pro Stitcher Premium manual. You can get it either 3-hole punched or comb bound. So let's move on and talk about comb binding. So with the new Art and Stitch, I asked Bob to send me my own version because I didn't have one. I couldn't believe I didn't have one. But what he did for me was he sent me the brand new Art and Stitch manual, and he did it with the comb binding. Now with the Art and Stitch manual, I have asked him to give you a couple of options with that. There is something that you can get with the Art and Stitch manual that's called the version history. So if you're a longtime user of Art and Stitch and you've never had the manual, you might want to order the manual itself. It's pretty long. Bob prints it all in color. And then you might want to get the version history, because that'll kind of give you a little bit of detail about some of the things that they may have added on, or features that they, added on with each update in each subsequent version that they released, okay? If you are brand new to Art and Stitch, you may be able to get by with just the manual. I mean, I'm kind of assuming, I haven't read it from cover to cover, but I'm assuming that the version history, the things that are new with this newest version, are already included in the manual, okay? But basically, you can get just the manual or the add-on with the version history. You can get just the version history if you already have the manual. And you can get, with Art and Stitch, they have a beautiful designs library. All right, so, and again, Bob prints this all in color. You can get every single pattern that is with the Art and Stitch in their version of the designs library. Okay, so there's a lot of different combinations with this. They're really, really nice in color. That's the comb binding. He puts the nice little plastic covering on there, and he ships it directly to you. But it's easiest for you to go on my website, order it up. That dings him out in Las Vegas where his business is, and he will ship it directly to you. All right, and then the last option, of course, on all of that is if you don't have any of these, you can get the whole ball of wax. Pro Stitcher, Art and Stitch, Version History, Designs Library with the Art and Stitch. You can get all of it, either hole punched or comb bound. So it's a really, you know, a lot of people, even though these manuals are online and you can download them in PDF form, and some people are okay with that, but some people still like to have the manual. And most places, even, you know, software and stuff, they just don't do manuals like they used to. And we're just trying to make it easy for you, give it to you at a fair price, and you don't have to go to Staples and all of that and spend a fortune. We're really, really trying to keep the pricing fair for you. So we appreciate your business on that. Okay, so that was the last thing on my list. As I told you, my friend Pam was here today, so there's nothing on McFusion right now because she was over there doing a charity quilt. And then over here on McFinity, I just finished this quilt up, and I'm actually really, really excited about this quilt. This is one of my own quilts. And that quilt right there, that's probably at least 8 or 9 years old. That is a square. I don't know if you recognize, but that's a square and a square. Jody Barrows came to our guild here in Florida, gosh, about 9 years ago. I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. And I did that during a class when she was here, and it's just been hanging in the back. And as I mentioned, my guild is having a show, and I need to put something in the show. So I thought, you know what? Why don't I just finish that? I posted the layout for that quilt, I think earlier this week, maybe Monday or Tuesday I started on it. Just finished it today. So I'll put some pictures up with the layout, and it turned out really pretty. It's not really my colors that I normally work with, but it just turned out really, really awesome. So it'll be a good one for me for the show. All right, you guys, that is it. It's a Friday afternoon. I am packing it up and going home. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And as always, from my studio to yours, happy quilting. Bye-bye.